Hi, Aquarius and Aquarius Rising. Here's your horoscope for September 2024. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, we have a weird one coming in. I talked about this at the beginning of the year, how the fall season here in the Northern Hemisphere was going to get a little wonky and a little weird. And so here we are. Okay, so last month we had a very powerful full moon, not a lunar eclipse, but a full moon, which was very strong with a couple of T-squares in your sign. And that took place in your first house of identity and self. So many of you are undergoing a massive change with your sense of well-being, your physical appearance, how others see you. You know, you're going through a metamorphosis. Now this month there will be a lunar eclipse, and it will activate your second house of income and values. So this is going to be why this time of the year is going to get a little weirder. And we're in eclipse season again. But there's another reason for that. Your ruler, Uranus, is slowing down. Here it is in stationary position, and it's going to go retrograde. So anytime the rulership of a sign goes retrograde, it slows us down. We go inward. We start reflecting on the past, and we start questioning everything. So we see that happening here as well. Not only that, the sun this time of the year is going through analytical Virgo in your 8th house. And so this 8th house has a lot to do with the deep psychological side of life. And so you're feeling the heaviness of reality and where you're going and what you're doing on a subconscious and conscious level. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we look at this month, as we go into, the next couple of months. All right, so let's get started here and give you an overview. So Uranus, your ruler, goes retrograde in Taurus right there. And in stationary position. In about a week or so, it'll be official retrograde. And it'll stay retrograde for about 4.5 to 5 months in this 4th house. So this has a lot to do with the home, the feeling, foundation, anything to do with family matters, whether it's mother, child, father. This is all going to be on the table. And last month we had a very strong T-square with this Uranus. Okay, so it was between your 1st house and your 7th house. So something to do with partnerships and relationships were on the table last month in August. But this month, that theme still continues, and you're still questioning it, and you're still pondering it. And so maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're thinking about remodeling. This has to do with the home. Maybe you're thinking about real estate, purchasing real estate or selling real estate. This is part of this retrograde of Uranus going backwards through the 4th house, okay? But at the same time that's happening, we have Pluto leaving your sign for a little bit, for the next month and a half or so, almost 2 months, and it's going to be hovering in Capricorn for the last time in this lifetime, because it will not return to Capricorn for another 240 years. So right now, this will continue to move backwards into your 12th house. Once again, a very nostalgic house. And this is about your goals and your purpose and what you want out of life. And there's a lot of deep uncertainty going on. And maybe there's a loss too. Like I need to change my life. I need to move forward. I need to do something different, and you're questioning all of it. Because we have now Pluto gone into the 12th, and we have Uranus, your ruler, in the 4th, and we have the sun going through the 8th. All three of these houses are emotional houses. They could be emotionally and psychologically draining houses, and that's what we have going on here. So this reading's for anyone who has an Aquarius rising or has an Aquarius sun. This is a general Western astrology sun sign reading using the tropical system and using the whole house system. This is a general overview, okay? Because everyone's birth chart is different, and everyone is birthday is different, okay? So anyway, but this is going to be monumental. The good news is that Pluto, as you can see here, 29 degrees, also makes a favorable alignment to Uranus and Neptune. So this is a time where you're really appreciating what you have before you go through a metamorphosis. And that's the best way I could describe it. And so Uranus will stay in your sign at least until I believe it's June of 2025. Then it switches signs and goes into Gemini, your 5th house. So it'll be out of your house, in this 4th house for a while, and then it'll retrograde back in. So you got one more year of this ping pong with, Uranus, but Pluto will retrograde back in here, and I believe it's the middle of October or so, around the 11th or 12th. It goes direct again, and then on November the 19th, it finally leaves Capricorn and enters your first house once again, and will stay here for the next like 18 and a half to 19 years. So many of you will go through massive changes in identity and self-awareness, and that comes after November the 19th, okay? But it's a slow process. Pluto is a slow evolution. It's not like something that happens overnight. So we'll see how that unfolds. Now, on the 2nd, we have the new moon in Virgo right there. It's going to be at 11 degrees of Virgo, so wherever that is in your actual birth chart. That's the area you want to take a look at. But generally speaking, the 8th house has to do with transformation of some kind, whether it's psychological, whether it's having to do with financing and funding. Maybe something from the past resurfaces that you have to deal with, okay? But this is a new opportunity here to change something. So it could be your mind, it could be your finances, maybe sexuality. Something's going on with sexuality here. But because it's Virgo, you know, this is about health, mental health, physical health as well. And maybe it's not your own, maybe it's somebody else's that you're taking care of. But this can be a good time for making money if, you know, you need to make more money or raise more capital or whatever it is. These two houses here are the houses that represent money, the 2nd and the 8th. And so this new moon over the next 2 weeks will highlight some sort of transformation having to do with either finances or maybe an ending of some kind, a completion, a realization of some kind with this new moon in Virgo, okay? Now, Mars enters Cancer on the 4th. Now, Mars entering Cancer, not exactly the greatest alignment because Mars is a fiery get-up-and-go sign, and Cancer is all about emotions and moodiness and sensitivity. And now it enters your 6th house of work and service and health. And so Mars will spend the next 6 weeks in the 6th house. And it will leave this house, go into your 7th house. And then it will retrograde. It retrogrades at the end of the year, December the 6th, and will start making its way back and will re-enter this house. I believe it's January the 6th. Now, this is important because whatever is going on here this month, all right, whatever you start, maybe a new job, a new health routine, maybe new responsibilities, maybe you get a new pet, whatever it is, it will retrograde back in here next year. And the same issue that you're having may resurface again. Now, the reason I say issue is because Mars, as you can see here, is going to be opposing Pluto right over here around the beginning of November. So the late into October into November. This is, again, why this time of the year is a little weird and wonky because of these outer planets making these alignments. And so this could absolutely be a weird time for many of you. So watch your health. Watch your work and job situation because these are all kind of edgy right now because Mars is in Cancer. And you got all of these other planets in sort of a slow mode, a confusing time. And by the end of the month, we're going to have 4 planets in water signs, which makes this a very moody and emotional month. I'm sorry to have to say that, but that's what it looks like. Okay, so but the socializing aspect of this month will change after the 22nd when the Sun and Mercury enter the 9th house, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. But Mercury enters Virgo as well, another analytical sign. So here we see Mercury actually in its home domicile of Virgo in the 8th house. So this is talking about analyzing more and more and trying to get to small details and trying to figure things out. And this is what these 2 planets are doing in the 8th house. Finances, psychological well-being, trying to tweak things to make them right, make them perfect. This is all in alignment here this month. Okay, so the energy is really weird and wonky. That's why I said this. Now, the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces is huge because now we're in eclipse season. This is the first of 2. This one is on the 17th in Pisces right here. And the next one next month will be in the 9th house right up here. But this month we have this lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Pisces. And it's going to be conjunct Neptune. So what this means is between the 2 houses, the 2nd house of income and value and the 8th house of shared resources, death and rebirth, psychological well-being, they're pushing and pulling amongst each other here. And because this is so closely aligned to Neptune, something may be coming to an end, a realization, a fact, something to do with investments, something to do with your values. This is all on the table. Maybe a partnership that's not working anymore, a business partnership, or some sort of relationship that is run its course. Because lunar eclipses can bring in endings. They're about realizations. They're about completions. Okay, and this doesn't necessarily have to happen on the 17th. Lunar eclipses can take up to 6 months to manifest themselves. So what we have here is a doorway that's opening for a closure of some kind, for an ending, for a finalization of something. It could involve a health matter. Maybe you're getting healthier. It could involve a move. Maybe you're remodeling or something like that, and maybe the project's coming to an end. Or maybe something to do with real estate. Maybe you're thinking about buying a property and you finally close on it, or something along those lines. But whatever it is, it's on the table here. It's going to be vitally important this month with this lunar eclipse in the second house. And finances, of course, are on the table at this time. Now, everything starts to change on the 22nd when the sun enters Libra, right there in your 9th house. So a little bit of optimism should begin to return. You should start feeling a little bit better. Some traveling, some learning, some teaching. And it's about finding balance. Libra is the sign of balance. Okay, so now you're kind of getting back into the swing of things, and you're starting to see things a little bit clearer. All right, so I would take that advantage, the next 30 days while that sun makes its way through the 9th house. But it'll also be joined by Mercury later on. But here we see Venus entering Scorpio as well at the same time. So we're back to the career mode. And so here we have to say that there is an opportunity here, maybe a new job, maybe a promotion, something new at work that you're going to be taking care of that is going to be on the table. This is going to be very important as well because Venus is at the high point in your chart. And again, because it's in Scorpio, can have something to do with finances or a transformation of some kind at work or within work. Okay, and this could bring you more attention in your business, or something that, a partnership of some kind that could change. And last but not least, we have Mercury entering Libra as well on the 26th, right there. So what we have is, Mercury entering Libra is again about balance and fairness and equality, and it wants justice, but most importantly, it wants peace and quiet. So with these two alignments here in the 9th house, you may be traveling a little bit more, but you're wanting to enjoy yourself a little bit more, which I highly encourage because it's in favorable alignments to your sun sign or your rising sign. So take advantage of it. Okay. If you enjoyed this presentation and you want to learn more about astrology, stand by for a little presentation that I have at the end of this video. And I hope you enjoy yourself, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now. Hi. Thank you so much for watching my monthly astrology. I really appreciate your support over the years. Have you ever considered learning astrology? Well, you're in luck because I've created a full online astrology course in my private community. It's a full 6-module course that takes you from the beginning of astrology, what it all means, the mythologies, the houses, all the way to the more advanced techniques such as progressions, solar returns, how to read transits, how to make predictions. It's all there in this course here. And I even dive into some of the mysterious stuff, what some of the symbolism is all about. So I think you might want to check it out if you're interested. Along with the course, we have a very tight-knit community here where everyone helps each other out. And so if someone knows a lot about astrology, they help other people with astrology. So it's a community that really gets involved and, really wants to learn and help each other out. But as you can see here, I have a whole lot more on this private community. I also have the Inner Circle live calls each week. Now, this is something that I do twice a month on YouTube, but here I do them on a weekly basis. And I talk about various topics. You get to ask me questions, we interact, and we learn a whole lot more than just astrology. So this could be anything from astrology to what's going on in the world, predictions, politics, whatever it is. We talk about it in the Inner Circle calls. Of course, I do have videos here that I do not have on YouTube, so you get those too. And then I've got a private resource vault, which has videos that I suggest watching, books suggested reading, meditations, and more. So if you're interested in learning astrology or want to be part of a great community that's really growing fast, head on over to the link down below and click on the link and join today. All right? Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.